On today's show, with more than a week left in the NHL regular season, the Ottawa Senators have clinched a spot in the Stanley Cup Playoffs.
So we bring on more than a dozen Ottawa Senators fans to hear their reaction and their X-Factor players for the playoffs.
This is Brady Tkachuk, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
Your Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome! You are locked on to the Ottawa Senators, the only daily podcast covering the Sens. On the outskirts of enemy territory, I'm Ross Levitan, alongside Brandon Piller up in the Blue Mountains. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, and Pillsy, they did it. The Ottawa Senators are going to the Stanley Cup Playoffs.
Oh my God, it's so amazing, Ross. Seeing that X beside their name after 7 years of having to scroll down till your thumb is sore to find them in the standings is a beautiful thing. Probably not the way I would have ideally wanted to draw it up, a 5-2 Sens loss and a Habs win, giving them the playoff spot. But I think that's going to be easy to forget once the postseason starts.
And it was going to be easy for us to do an episode just giving our reactions, but we already did in the postcast last night. So we said, what better way to be the show for fans, by fans, than to get Ottawa Senators fans to come on here and tell us what this moment means to them and who their X factors are in the playoffs. We had our X factors last night. You can go check out the postcast anywhere you get your podcast. Shout out to the everydayers out there that are making us your first listen on the Locked On Podcast Network. We wouldn't be here doing the 1668th episode of this show, including postcast, bonus coverage, reaction, draft coverage, everything that we love to do so much on this show, if it weren't for the great citizens. So here is us kicking it back to you, what this moment means to you as an Ottawa Senators fan. All right, as the show for fans, by fans, we have to hear from the people what this moment means to them. Let's start with Shmuel Bulka. Welcome back to the show, Shmuel. Great to see you.
Great to be here. Can't believe this happened.
So you've been seeing the Senators in New York, New Jersey, all across the years. What does this moment mean to you? The Sens are finally back in the playoffs.
I have one sports goal in my life, and that is to celebrate a Stanley Cup victory with my son, Avi. And what this means is it can happen this year, because if you're not in it, you can't win it. And so it's just really exciting to have the chance. We're 16 wins away, and can't wait for this playoffs to get started.
Shmuel, who is your X-Factor player for the Ottawa Senators this playoffs?
Without question, it has to be Allmark. A good goalie can steal you wins, but a tough goaltending performance can kill you. One bad goal can be really deflating. We've seen this in Sens history numerous times, both in regular season and in playoffs. It's all about the goaltending. So I agree with Martian on this one. It's all up to Allmark.
Bonus question, Shmuel. Who do you want in the first round?
I want Washington.
Okay, the Cherry Blossoms?
Yeah, I don't think they're playing that well right now. I think the Ovi thing distracted them a little bit. They've got a couple of injuries. I think they've overperformed generally, and I can drive 4.5 hours and go see a game.
I knew that would be in there. And you actually got to see Ovi break the record on Sunday, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I was lucky. I was at that game. It was quite an experience. And I'd love to see him get knocked out of the playoffs.
Awesome, Shmuel. Well, we can't wait to see you watching the Ottawa Senators. Hopefully a boots on the ground report from Washington, but if not, we know you're going to find a way to a game or two. So thanks for doing this. We appreciate you, and we're looking for you and Avi to be able to celebrate together when this is all said and done.
You got it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. There goes Shmuel Bulka, great citizen. And now let's go to Mathieu Larocque. Mathieu, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. It's wonderful. Spring is here. It's snowy in Ottawa, but nobody cares. It's like last night watching a game. It wasn't a great game. We talked about it already, but my dad's who's a Habs fan. I'm texting him. I'm like, your team better not screw up. they got it. It was 1-1 at that time. I'm like, get the win, and then we can celebrate. And that's what happened. Like, this is great. It's another opportunity to wave a towel around. Like, this is what we want. Like, and I'm happy Cyril Leader this morning is saying, lad, we've got the towels. They're coming in. Like, that's what everybody, we don't want thunder sticks. We don't want glow sticks. We just want that white towel and waving it around. Like, those are the best memories from like the playoff series. I remember the 07 series, that Buffalo game. I think I attended, game 2 on that. It was awesome. So no, just getting back into it is the greatest gift we could get.
So what did clinching mean to you? I mean, for you, it's a special one because, like you mentioned, your dad's a Habs fan. So for once, you can finally properly thank him for getting a win, even though the Sens lost. But it's been 7 years, Mathieu. What did it feel like for you?
It feels like that rebuild we've been hearing about is finally over. Like, we're getting a chance to get back. We've shown we're a contender. My son, who was 4, now is a big Sens fan. We went to the game last week. He's ready for playoff. He wants to see meaningful hockey. So getting to share that now with another generation, to me, that's the world. Like, seeing Brady on the ice, playoff hockey. Like, as a Sens fan, I feel it's redemption. I grew up with the best years, and Cyril said it this morning, like, yeah, we took it for granted for so long. I did as well. So now it's a family affair now. I think that's the most meaningful thing for this clinch.
I love it. And who is your X factor player for the playoffs, Mathieu?
Well, I think Shmuel said it like Allmark, but to me, Giroux. The experience. I think if he can come off like beginning of the season, I think he was really hot in the fall. Like, he was really playing his best game. It tapered down a bit like after the holidays, but I think if he comes in guns blazing, he knows this is maybe one of his last chances to go into playoffs, have an impact. I think we're in for a run, and I think if he's firing, Amadio's firing, and then Brady's just showing this capacity, we can clinch like the first round. Like, anything's open. Like, 2017 was like the Cinderella story. I want this again this year, but this time we win that OT game.
Well, I see about 5 Sens logos behind you, so I'm expecting the car flag up soon. Okay, Mathieu?
I'll have to dig it up, but yeah, it's coming out for sure.
Right. There you go. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you, and we'll see you at the CTC in the playoffs.
Go Sens, go. Thanks, boys.
All right, there goes Mathieu Larocque. Let's head down to Arizona, where Sens fans are all over. Here is Anthony. Great to see you again, man. Long time since the draft. How are you doing?
Hey, gents, I'm doing awesome. How are you doing today?
Fantastic, man. Couldn't be better. Can you not tell from the smiles? Come on, the Sens are in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Anthony, what does it mean to you, man?
Oh my goodness. It was a heavy moment for me yesterday. I mean, I'm an OG lifelong Sens fan dating back to the 90s. I remember where I was in 97 when Duchesne scored that goal, sitting with my dad on the couch. I was at, I guess, the Corel Center at the time when the Sens clinched their first playoff series victory against the Devils. I remember where I was in 07 watching Alfie get that OT goal. Like, all of these amazing milestones for the team. This was right up there with them. And then joining the postcast with you guys and all of the other citizens, I mean, it's such a special moment.
Now, Anthony, who is your X factor player for the Ottawa Senators in the playoffs this time around?
Oh, for me, it's got to be Brady Tkachuk. I mean, I am just salivating to see what he can do. After watching him at the Four Nations and just watching him get ramped up and the emotion at that post-game interview, I think it was against the Rangers when he scored that OT winner. I mean, he is ready. He is going to come out guns a-blazing. I cannot wait to see what Brady does in the playoffs.
And we can't wait to watch it along because, as you mentioned, the best memories that you can have with your team is in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Anthony, we love that you're following the team as closely as you are down in Arizona. We appreciate you coming on, looking as Canadian as I've ever seen a guy living in the States, looking with the roots, with the Sens hat, man. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. We'll see you at the CTC when you can get there.
See you guys for game 3. I'm going to fly up there. I'll see you guys at the GCP, and I'll see you guys at the game.
How much do the vibes cost at the GCP?
They are free. The most cost-effective vibes in the world are at the GCP.
There goes Anthony chiming in, and now let's head to rural Ontario where we bring on our boy Cole Jackson. What's up, fella? We're gonna have to get a nice Sens logo back there.
I know. I was trying to. My printer's not working. I was trying to print one out to put over top of the Ravens logo. How can I follow Anthony after that electric interview? That was amazing,
dude. It shows the passion. What I love is there's been two themes so far: family and memories. And that's what it's all about, man. What does the Ottawa Senators clinching a playoff spot mean to you? You were at the game last week. What was the vibe in the rink? And how can we bring that into mid to late April?
Honestly, the vibe was great. For like the Sens didn't play well in that game. Ollie stole it. And, people just seem that's the thing with me. The buzz around the city when the Ottawa Senators get into the playoffs is I've been living here since 2010. I'm from Brockville, so I'm not from far. But the vibe around the city, the car flags come out, and you see them now big time ever since like a couple weeks ago when we were, on the cusp of clinching. And it just, everything changes. Like you go downtown, Sens Mile's going to be back up. You cannot beat it. And I was talking to my wife earlier. It's the last time the Sens made the playoffs, I wasn't a dad. And so that's, seems like a whole, like my kid's going to be 7 this year. So it really puts into perspective how different my life was the last playoff run. So I am just so unbelievably fired up. Now it's going to be hunting down those playoff tickets. That's where the next challenge comes in.
When the Sens got that X beside their name, Cole, what emotions ran through you?
I was just so fired up. Like Brady Tkachuk in the playoffs. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see Nick Cousins back. I think this team is going to be menaces, and that's exactly the role of the underdog. I think they're built to be that playoff underdog. I'm just so excited. Like Brady in the playoffs, we're finally here.
Can't wait. So who's going to be the X factor then? Brady Tkachuk?
I think it's going to be a combination of Jensen and Zub because, you think back to some of those, like, I think to like Vegas's team, and like we may not have all of the top end skill that they had, but
we have though, Cole. We got Michael Amadio.
That's right. And their decor though, like, and I would even, it's kind of corny to say the whole decor, but like I think of that third pairing they had with White Cloud and whoever White Cloud, like that's what Cleven and Manapalo need to be. Like they need to be those big physical guys. It feels like those pairings really thrive in playoff settings. So I'm putting Jensen and Zub in that as kind of the anchors of those lines that will allow Sanderson's skating this year. It's been actually insane to watch him mature as a player and just see him it really shows that kind of game speed where he's just gotten so comfortable mentally that his physical attributes are now shining, and like having a guy beside him. And same with Shabbat, having those two guys be able to anchor that line with defensive responsibility. I think that's the key X factor for me.
I love you pointing out the physicality in a 7-game series. How are you going to weigh down the top players on the other team? And if Cleven and Mathieu Larocque can have plus 50-50 shifts night in and night out and be able to inflict some pain, Sens are in a good spot. What a football guy answer to that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Toronto Maple Leafs do not want this smoke. I can't wait. Give me the Leafs round 1. I need it.
Let's go. Okay, well, get your tickets, find them, and we'll see you at the CTC. Cole, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, boys. Take care.
Hope you're enjoying these great conversations. We'll get right back to it. But first, Pilsy's got a word from one of our favorite sponsors.
Yes, today's episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Well, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Pistachios are one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. My favorite flavor, the salt and pepper flavor. Check it out in the light purple bag. But if you don't want to deal with the shells, you can check out the no shells variety, the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Whether you're at your desk at work, on a road trip, or you just need a quick protein boost, they're always a good go-to. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
Today's episode is also brought to you by our great friends over at Farm to Fork, a local premium meat and seafood delivery service Canadian made, Canadian owned, and Canadian delivered. If you're in Ontario, Quebec, or up in Nunavut, you can go to farm2forkdelivery.ca and taste the farm to fork difference. All natural, no hormones, no antibiotics, and gluten-free meats. They've got so many great specials on their website. Barbecue season is around the corner. I know it doesn't feel that way with the snow dump in our nation's capital, but it is coming. And when you're waiting for playoff games, you want to get some meat on the grill. You never want to be in the situation where you're having friends over to watch the Sens playoffs and say, oh my goodness, we got to go get meats. No, forget the grocery store. You don't want that. You want great quality premium meats delivered directly to your door, and you can get bundles on farm2forkdelivery.ca. I love the value box. It's a whole lot of meat, and it is available for you. All of their meats are flash frozen at the butcher's table to seal in the freshness. They're also individually vacuum sealed, so you never have to worry about getting too much pulled out, and then you're like, oh no, what am I going to do with the rest? No, you can pull out just what you need with your farm to fork meats. They're delicious, they're nutritious, and they are local, premium, quality meats. Use our promo code LOCKEDON40 for $40 off your first order at farm2forkdelivery.ca. You can also check out Farm to Fork at their retail location. You can go and talk to Derek Firth, great owner of Farm to Fork Delivery Canada. They are available at 1570 Carling Avenue, or you can deliver it online at farm2forkdelivery.ca. That's Locked On 40 for $40 off your first order. Taste the farm to fork difference. You will never go back to grocery store meats. Now let's bring on Aidan Porter, rocking the jersey the Sens last wore to get to the Stanley Cup final. Aidan, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, boys. How are you? I'm fired up right now.
That couldn't be better. Come on, man. What did it mean to you last night to see the Sens finally end their drought?
Well, you know what? It's just been such a crazy road over these last 7 years. Like, it's been tough, heartbreak after heartbreak every year. I just start turning off the games. I can't even watch them. But then last night, I was a little disappointed with the Columbus game, but then obviously it was just the vibes won out, and I was just like, oh, you know what? Despite the loss, like, we still got the clinch, and that's all that matters. And honestly, I have my preferred kind of matchups, but I don't care. We're in the show. We're in the dance. So whatever.
Yeah, kind of weird to get in on a loss, but you forget that pretty quickly, Aidan, just like all other Sens fans. So who is your X Factor player for the Sens in the playoffs?
Well, I feel like the very obvious one is Brady with his Four Nations performance and all that. But I feel like I'll go for Sanderson. Like, he's turning into an absolute superstar this year. And he's just going to be logging, like, he's a horse. Like, let's be honest, like, he's just an absolute horse. So he's going to be logging those minutes in the playoffs. And I hope that he can just really show up and people will take notice of him and start to give him some more respect as a top defenseman in this league. So that'll be my pick.
I love that. And give me an undercover one too, because I mean, Brady's got to be the guy, no doubt.
Yeah.
But give me a low-key roster player that you think could make a big impact.
Well, I think we have a couple guys that just have such good playoff experience, like Perron, Amadio. Like, those guys have been there, done it. But I feel like one guy that can turn into a more low-key like guy like that is Ridley Gregg. Like, he just plays such like a playoff style hockey. Like, he's just going to be digging in the corners, just getting guys riled up, drawing penalties, and I think he's just going to really show up. Like, this is his first time in the playoffs ever, and I think he's really going to show up as like a key part of this team for this run. And I remember watching back in 2017, and I was watching my grandma's basement by myself because I was just watching that playoff run, and I was just amazed every round. Like, I was like, oh man, are we really going to do this right now? And then of course Kunitz wrecked our dreams, but
Don't worry,
hopefully this year we can go on a run again. So
love that. Final question: what jersey are you rocking with the A back in the 3D?
Yeah, we're doing the Phillips.
Let's go, the big rig.
Yeah.
You don't see enough Phillips jerseys around the CTC.
He's a legend of the Senators. Like, come on, I got this off of like Facebook Marketplace, and it's just a retro jersey. I love it. So yeah, but I'm fired up, boys. It's going to be good.
I'm fired up too, man. Aidan, thanks for joining us. This has been great. Really appreciate it. Go Sens, go.
Go Sens, go, boys. All right. See ya.
All right. There goes Aidan. Let's bring on Taylor now. Taylor, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the program. How you doing?
Fellas, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Couldn't be better. How did that loss, which ended up being a win, feel for you last night?
Well, I mean, as the question kind of dictates, there was a little bit conflicting. To be honest, as much as, it seemed pretty likely for the past week or so that we were going to get in, a lot of it was relief. I live in Burlington, so I'm right in the middle of Leafs territory. So if the Sens had found a way to not make it in after, the situation they've been in standings wise, I probably would have heard about it. So I'm very relieved. I'm extremely happy that we're in. And yeah, there is definitely a little bit of relief as well.
So being in the heart of enemy territory, Taylor, does that mean you're more inclined for a Battle of Ontario playoff push or less inclined? How are you feeling?
That's such a tough question because it's going to make me sound soft if I say less. So I think I got to go with more.
Nice.
I'm going to be severely outnumbered. I'm on 2 different beer league teams that are basically just chock full of Leafs fans. So hopefully there aren't any Thursday night games because those will definitely get postponed for both of my teams. But yeah, it's going to be. I think the joy of us taking the Leafs down potentially would outweigh how badly I would hear about it if we don't. So let's go with the Leafs then.
Love it.
Okay, love that. And you're a goalie friendly guy. We know that.
Yes,
Is
sir.
your X factor Linus Ullmark, or who are you feeling?
So I know you guys are going to get a lot of Brady and you're going to get a lot of Linus Ullmark. So I'm going to go a little bit, I want to say off the board, but a little bit different. I'm going to choose this guy right here. I don't know if you can see him.
Timmy.
Yeah. So he's been a little bit cold as of late. So I'm hoping in the next couple of games, last couple of games of the regular season, that he can, kind of pick that back up. And by the time we're into the playoffs, he's rolling again. So if he's scoring, we're going to be hard pressed to be held off the score sheet very much. So I think that's got to be it.
Love that, Taylor. Well, good luck in Leafs land. I know you want Battle of Ontario. I feel like a lot of us do. And we're looking for, are you going to try to get up to a game or what?
I'm going to try to. It might be a little bit tough. My daughter's, a year and a half. So
yeah,
it's
I feel
tough
that,
to sell
man.
a
Hey,
solo
round two. Deeper you go, the better excuse you have to the better half.
Yeah, I'll just have to get her a jersey by then. Her name's Emery, so I'm going to have to get her an Emery 1. So
that's all time. That's Ray Emery's stick back there from back in the
I have
day.
one of those too.
Let's go, Taylor. Love the vibes. Really appreciate you jumping on, man. Go Sens, go.
Go Sens, go, boys. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
Do you have trouble sleeping? If so, you're not alone. That used to be me, lacking rest, tossing and turning. I was late for meetings. I never felt like myself. That's until I found Bare Mattress. Bare Mattress and their sleep recovery technology helped me fall asleep faster, as well as enjoy deeper sleeps. I felt like myself again, and you can too. Bare Mattress knows that every sleeper is different. That's why they have their sleep quiz on their website that finds you your perfect match. As a side sleeper, I matched with the Elite Hybrid mattress, and I've been telling everyone in my life they have to try Bare Mattress risk-free. You can sleep on your Bare Mattress up to 120 nights, and if you're not getting the best sleep of your life, you can get it refunded. They'll pick it up with absolutely no hassle. So go to baremattress.com and use my promo code LOCKEDONNHL at checkout to get 40% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. You have to use my promo code on the very last page of checkout to get this discount. That's baremattress.com. Use my promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 40% off site-wide. Baremattress.com, promo code LOCKEDONNHL. Jack, what's up, buddy? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling fantastic, boys. How you feeling?
Oh, can't be better, man. What was your emotions like last night?
Well, the game was obviously frustrating. They just didn't have it. I find that you can kind of tell by halfway through the game if they have it or not. They clearly didn't. But then when I checked the score of the Montreal game and I saw they went ahead, I flushed it. Didn't even matter to me anymore.
Unreal, man. That's so good. So where were you the last time Sens made playoffs?
I remember it vividly. The last Sens playoff game I went to, I was in grade 8, 2017, got picked up from school early, told we got tickets to forget what game it was. It was against Boston, and they lost in overtime. It was one of their few overtime losses that year in the playoffs, but it was a great experience. The atmosphere was electric. The chants, everything. It was very memorable, and I can't wait to get back there.
Dude, that was Sean Corrali that scored the goal. Sens played against them last night.
Oh yeah, that's quite the connection. Yeah, no, I remember them losing, but I remember leaving the CTC just so happy that I got to go, and I just can't wait to share that with I've made a bunch of new Sens fan friends that are trying to get me to go, so I can't wait.
So
good.
After that playoff run, Jack, are you thinking, okay, tough loss, but we're going to bounce back next year, and I'm going to see a lot of Sens playoff hockey in the future?
I don't even know what I thought, but I definitely didn't think it was going to be this long of a drought. If they didn't make it this year, it would have been all of high school and all of university without seeing a Sens playoff game.
You would have had to go for a master's degree to try to get it done.
I know. I applied to law school just for that hope.
There you go.
So who's the X factor this year, Jack? Who's going to be the difference maker?
A lot of people saying Sandy, Brady, Allmark. I'm going to go David Perron. The way that guy on the walls, on the boards, he's battling. I swear he never loses a puck battle. I think we're going to need that guy with his playoff experience to kind of lead the group, have that gritty mentality throughout the first round, especially if it's going to be the Leafs. But also with Sanderson, we're going to be playing a high-powered offense no matter what, and he's going to have to shut some guys down too.
Hell yeah. Love that answer, Jack. Really appreciate you jumping on, man. Hope to see you at the CTC in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, sounds good. See you guys soon.
All right, there goes Jack. Now let's bring on great friend of the show, another Vegas NHL draft fan that we got to hang out with. Awesome dude. It is Eric. What's up, brother? Got a custom Ice Bear Linus Ullmark hat or what?
That's the Linus with the Senators and my little Sweden.
That's awesome. He has that. Maybe you're aware of this, but he has that polar bear on the wrists of his blocker and his glove. When I was in the locker room, I noticed that.
Yeah, he's I got a story I'll tell another day, but he's my favorite player, this guy. He's got all the time in the world for us regular Joes. He's a big nerd, and that's my X factor right there. Linus Ullmark, guys. Linus Ullmark.
Dude, have you been a Sens fan since their last playoff run, or is this your first taste?
I would have been the last time they in 2017. I was on tour essentially. So for those 2 years, I didn't really care about hockey. I mean, I cared about hockey, but I was still in that Toronto area, and then I ended up getting posted to Ottawa, and that was when I found you guys for those 5 years. Became a Sens Central citizen. And I'm like, it was all pain. So I'm joining this team and I'm like, why? They're so exciting though. I love these guys and the vibes with you guys and all the podcasts. Man, you just kept us going. Without that community, people would have just fizzled out and been like, well, maybe I'll go to another team, or, maybe their loyalties will kind of waver a bit. But when we know a bunch of sickos like you and the community are going at it still every single day, I mean, that fires us up, and that keeps bringing us on, and we deserve this. You guys deserve this. I think for the past maybe 6 months, I've been putting in 40, 50, 60 hours a week into Sens stuff, and I realize you guys have been doing this for how many years?
Just 668 episodes, but who's counting?
And I'm telling you, man, finally, just to go through that thinking. It's so much work. What you guys do for the community, it's incredible, guys. I've been living it, and it's my hat's literally off to you both, because this content's amazing. Even today, this is great. Just having these live reactions. Obviously, we're pumped up. The vibes are all time high, and man, I can't stop smiling. We got playoff hockey. Are you kidding me?
Ross, you cut us short there. What's 668 episodes?
No,
That's
1,600
of them.
1,600.
Okay.
I think I said 1668. I hope so.
No, you said 600. I was
we're only
credit for half the episodes here.
No, that's probably since the start of the season.
Not math guys.
No, definitely not math guys.
Even that's impressive though, right? Yeah. So.
Eric, we know that you're a season seat member now, so you're fired up. You're going to be in the building game 3, I'd imagine.
I have to check my tickets, but I believe I'm going to be there with a buddy. I'm hoping it's Toronto, because all my family, they're cheering for Toronto. I'm like, no, let's go.
Well, and you can kind of fully exercise that demon of when you were a Leafs fan. You can fully turn the page.
It's gone. I feel nothing for them. Their game is on, and I'm like, oh, did the Leafs play tonight? Sorry, I was watching the Sens clinch a playoff. Are you kidding? Cool. Let's go. Mitch Marner against playoff Brady. I hope he has a good will in check. Like, are you kidding? Come on, Mitchie. Let's go, Sens.
So who's the X factor then? And if you're going to say Linus Ullmark, give me a second as well.
Okay. I'm going with Linus just because I can't help but root for this guy. And then I'm just looking at Jake Sanderson. Like, our defensive defensemen, look at where Erik Karlsson is. He's behind him in points this season. Like, that's no disrespect on Carl, but it's just showing Jake Sanderson's game. He's going to take it to the next level. And when games matter, oh boy, just wait. Sandy's going to light it up, and like, he's going to hit another gear, and it's just going to make him unstoppable for the years to come. So I'm going with Jake Sanderson and Linus Ullmark. Let's secure that back end. Let's win some 2-1 games. Let's win this cup. Let's go.
Let's go. Why not? Hey, why not us? Why not now, Eric?
Exactly. This is the time. You guys deserve us. Ottawa Senators fans deserve us. Anyone who covers this deserves this. The players deserve this. And Ice Bear Dude deserves this. So,
all right, Eric, you're the man. You look like you're ready for a summer party. And hopefully
Dino Nuggets, baby. Dino Nuggies. Right
hopefully
there.
We're having one on Elegant Street in a couple months, man. Wouldn't that be something?
Let's go. Thanks for doing this, boys. You guys are the best.
Hey, appreciate the heck out of you, Eric. You know that, and we'll be in touch very, very soon. There goes Eric, man. Absolute beauty there. So we talked to Shmuel Bulka, and he said that he wants to celebrate a Stanley Cup with his son. And we bring on Avi Bulka right now. What's up, fella? How was it like hearing your dad say that?
That was unreal. I mean, it's the same thing. Last night after the Brandon Gallagher, only time I ever cheer for him, goal, I FaceTimed my dad, and we were like, this is just an unbelievable thing. I'm just so pumped right now.
Yeah, it's so awesome you get to have this experience with your dad. What's the plan for the playoffs? You heading back up north for Game 3?
I don't think I'm going to do the first round. Obviously, I'm going to wait till.
Oh, he's already looking to the next rounds. Okay.
I'm looking for Stanley Cup Final Game 3, Game 4 tickets. If anyone's interested in letting me know where I can get my hands on those. But making a trip out, or if they end up playing Dallas, I'm a 3.5-hour drive away. So that could be an option too there.
So you're in Texas now, but did you grow up in Ottawa?
No, I grew up in New York. My dad grew up in Ottawa, but I grew up Sens fan. At first it wasn't by choice, meaning, if you want to live in the house, you had to be a Sens fan. But I can't imagine rooting for any other team. Through all the stuff that we went through, and especially you guys, like those late night West Coast trip postcasts in the heart of it all. When we lose to the teams that are lower than us almost, or just as, and having that, and then till now is just it's so much sweeter. And hats off to you guys, because I don't think we could have gotten through without your positivity, positivity, and just everything going on. I think I felt so much relief last night, because I remember going into overtime of Game 7 2017, like the intermission before double overtime, Doc Emmerich, the legendary Doc Emmerich, he does his dramatic 82 game season playoff run, all to get to here. And I'm thinking, wow, if they lose, there's a long way to go back. I did not think it would take this long, but we're here. So let's go.
Let's go. And the boys have punched their ticket to a Stanley Cup playoff series. They've only been promised 4 games, but if it's going to be longer than that, hopefully much longer, Avi, who is the X factor for you to make a push?
So aside from the Oli and Kachuk, I'm really going Giroux. And I think he has that chip on his shoulder from his Philly days when Patrick Kane, crushed their dreams a little bit. He deserves it. He's gonna drag this team into a fight. Obviously Brady will too, but I think Giroux is gonna take us to the next level here. And everyone's already calling it, we're gonna the run this year. Like they're not saying if we go on a run. We're saying and I feel that. I feel the vibes with this team. Why can't we go all the way? What's stopping us? Like, just because we're a lower down seat, like we're in the playoffs, anything can happen. Our team is great. We can definitely do this. So when we go on a run, not if, but when.
Where does the run start, Avi? Who you want in the first round? And maybe who don't you want?
To be honest, I'm fine with any team, because I think we could take them all. I think just play your game and go into the playoffs positive. If that means you win games and you end up playing Tampa or Florida, then so be it. But then you'll have, more momentum going in. We could take any of them. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not like we're playing Buffalo in the first round where we'll get wobbled 4-0 in the series. That's the only team I'd be nervous about. But we could take them all.
I love it. Pills, you got another one for Avi?
Just appreciate the support from you and your dad, and we made it, buddy. We're here.
See you on Elgin in late June, eh?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Go Sens, go!
All right, there goes Avi Bulka. Now let's bring on Gabe. Gabe, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, couldn't be better. Are you at work right now?
I am, yes, unfortunately.
No, but you still made some time to get the vibes up. Where were you last night, and how did the emotions feel when you learned the Senators' playoff drought was over?
Honestly, man, I was a little bit emotional. It was it's been a long ride. Obviously a lot of downs for the boys there, a lot of weird names coming and going for the roster, but the way they built it now, I honestly feel better now than 2017 even.
Now, what are your playoff memories that kind of came rushing back to you now that you see the Senators are going to have an opportunity to get back in the postseason?
Man, you can't think about that last playoff run without Carl, really. He was unbelievable. That run was just insane, man. Honestly, when they lost and that Kunitz goal went in, I'm pretty sure I called in sick the next day to work because I was not feeling it. So
hey, don't say that too loud, eh?
Oh yeah, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. One of the worst times in my life. So no, I'm so
sure
excited, man.
I'm sure you didn't think it was going to take this long to get back here, hey?
I didn't, honestly. I was gearing up the next year, man. I thought freaking go away from the Cup final. I was like, let's go again, and then yeah, brutal.
Brutal. So who's your X factor this year? Obviously, Carl had that ridiculous run in 2017. So who is it this year for you that needs to have a great playoffs if Ottawa's going to win a round or more?
For me, honestly, I really like Pinto's game. I just think he does a lot of good things on both sides of the puck. He wins a lot of key draws. I think he has an unbelievable shot when he can get it away. And that line is just so responsible right now. I think if Pinto can start potting a few here, and I think he can start rolling. So I'm going to go with Pinner.
I love that, Gabe. We appreciate the hell out of you. Go Sens, go, and hopefully we get to see you in Ottawa in the next few weeks.
Hell yeah. Go Sens, go, boys. Thanks.
All right, there goes Gabe. Now let's bring on Sens Army 11. What's up, fella? Nice to see you.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How are you?
Couldn't be better.
Good.
How are you doing? What was it like feeling the emotions last night? Senators breaking a 7-year playoff drought.
It was pretty sick. We're out here in Halifax and Habs and Leafs and Penguins and Crosby Nation. So it's nice to fly that flag again proudly on the truck.
Now, was it a bit of a conflicting feeling? The Sens lose, Habs win, and you're happy? Or did that take you only mere moments to get over that and really allow the excitement of getting back to the playoffs to set in?
Well, quite frankly, I mean, it sucks a little bit that the Habs are the ones that won it, but the fact that they beat Detroit kind of makes it a little bit easier to stomach. So.
And with that, yeah, I know I felt that too, but it's just like, you know what? As long as it was Detroit losing, their team I felt like was more in line with Ottawa going into the season. Kind of have to tip your hat, unfortunately, to the way Montreal has been able to kind of pull themselves up the standings. But Ottawa is in, and there's plenty of reasons why. You can even give credit to Levi Merrilainen for saving the season there in the middle of December and into January. But going into the playoffs, Pat, who is the number one X factor for you?
So I'm going to kind of piggyback onto the last guy and say, for me, it's going to be Shane Pinto. I've been watching a lot of Sens playoff highlights from the past, thinking about guys like Pajot and Fisher, that guy who can come in and shut down the other team's top line, but still come in and pot some key goals, win face-offs, and just be that all-around great 200-foot player. So for me, it's Pinto that I'm looking forward to seeing the most.
Hell yeah, love that. You need a good checking line, right? Sens fans know that better than anybody. Remember the Stanley Cup Finals? It was Paulson, Moen, and Rob Niedermeyer that just completely shut down Ottawa's top guns. Could the Sens have something like that in Pinto, Ridley, Gregg, and Michael Amadio? I mean, that would be such a boost for what we're looking to do, eh?
Couldn't agree more.
Hell yeah. Well, appreciate you jumping on, man. Go Sens, go. You know you're out in Halifax. You going to try to get back for a game or two?
Yeah, me and my brother might get back. I have a few mobility issues right now, so getting on the plane would be a little bit rough. But once I'm recovered, if I'm recovered in time, then I'll be back there for sure.
Hey, nothing can heal you up faster than Stanley Cup playoffs, eh?
Right on.
There you go. Go Sens, go. Thanks for doing this, Pat. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
boys.
All right, there he goes. And now let's bring on that Sens fan 24. What's up, fella? Great to see you.
Great. Nice to see you boys, man. I actually, quick note, I was on the show previously in November 16th of 2022. We were playing the Buffalo Sabres. We actually won. But I remember that time we were saying it was a must-win game at that point. Otherwise, we would be done. And how far have we come now, boys? I mean, just, it feels so good. The last time we were in playoffs, I was a high school student, grade 9. I'm now an electrical engineer, finished university. So it just feels like, oh my God, lifetime ago when they made the playoffs. So I'm so pumped, so excited. All the boys are excited right now.
What was the emotions when you saw the final buzzer go in that Habs Red Wings game and you knew that the drought was over?
I texted all my cousins in Toronto because they're all Leaf fans. I said, we'll see you in round 1. Get ready for Brady Tkachuk to absolutely just go crazy, right? They hate Brady Tkachuk, and I hate Mitch Marner too. So we kind of share that same thing. But it was just like excitement again, right? Like we've been through so much. I mean, you boys, like that was episode 672 back in 2022, and now we're 1,600 episodes in. So just utter excitement, and just can't wait for game 1 of the playoffs, man.
Who's the X factor then? Who are you looking at having a big playoffs?
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say Shane Pinto, but Sens Army kind of took that away. So I would kind of go with Jake Sanderson. I think we know how good he is. We know how good him and Zub are shutdown defensemen. The team. So we need both of them to kind of be on their A game. And I think if those two boys are going, Sanderson and Zub, we can really play with any defense in the league. Honestly.
Love that, man. Well, can't wait to see you in Ottawa. Hopefully a parade on Elgin Street and the vibes at an all-time high here. So appreciate you doing this. We've come a long way, as you mentioned, from a must-win game in November against Buffalo. Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs, man. I hope you get your wish and you get to be against your cousins here in round 1.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, boys. Keep up the great work.
All right, go Sens, go. And let's bring on Glensrep here. What's up, fella? How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Doing great. What was the emotions like last night for you?
Pretty good. Pretty mixed, obviously, because I lost, but, have to cheer for the Habs, too, so that's kind of tough as well. But, is what it is. Got to clinch how we can.
And now that they have clinched, how good do you feel that all those years of pain, all those years of waiting to get back into it, you can be a goldfish and just forget all that? How excited are you for a new experience of playoff moments?
It's fantastic. I lived outside of Ottawa, but I went to Ottawa for school around like 2015, 2016. Moved back home, I didn't go to the playoffs whenever they were in 2017. But so then it's good to finally have a chance to go back to Ottawa to go see the playoffs. I'm going to be going to every game that I can. My friends and I are ready to go, so we're set there.
So when you get to Ottawa, you're in the building. Which player are you watching as this guy needs to have a big series if they're going to win a round or two?
I think it's a little underrated, but I'm going to go with a 2-for-1. I'm going to go for Zub and Jensen because I think they both do a great job of solidifying Sanderson and Shabbat, which is going to be crucial working from the back end in the playoffs there because you can't rely just purely on the forwards to get stuff done. So I think Zub and Jensen just both do a fantastic job of bringing the best out of Sanderson and Shabbat.
I love that reasoning, too. It really feels like the balance is going to be key going into the playoffs. So love that answer. Love that you're representing the Sens outside of Ottawa and that you plan on being in town for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Safe travels to Ottawa. We'll see you at the rink.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right. Hit us with a Go Sens Go on the way out. Come on.
Go Sens Go.
All right, there goes Glensrep. And how could we wrap up a fan-based program with the person that cares the most about the Ottawa Senators fan experience from the CTC? It's Ian Mendes. What's up, Ian? How you doing?
Guys, what's going on? It's a good day to be in the office.
We're 40 minutes in. I think we've just talked to 15 to 18 Senators fans, and just the emotions. It feels like it's really come down to two things, Ian. Memories and family. And that feels like the perfect way to come into the family atmosphere that has been created within the organization. Take us into the offices today. What's it been like after a clinched playoff spot for the first time since 2017?
Well, let me start by taking you back to Columbus last night where I was, because it was conflicted was the right word to use in the first 5 minutes, kind of after the game. Guys were pretty dejected coming off the ice. I think the coaching staff, we were all kind of dejected, but we had a laptop. We're watching Habs Detroit. It's 2-1, and you're thinking, this game's going to overtime, right? Like this can't be easy. And when Montreal made it 3-1, it felt good. And then they made 4-1. You're like, here we go. And it's almost like the mood switched for everybody. And the players, I think Shabbat said it great yesterday. Like, not too often I'm going to be smiling after a loss, but it felt great. The plane ride home was a lot of fun. Being at the office today is a lot of fun. Like there's a different energy and level around the group. And it's too bad we didn't win to get in, because I think it would have been even more. You'd have had more moments that we sort of captured on social media and shared, but still, this is a super fun day around here.
Oh, it's a blast, Ian. Now, what are some things that you and the rest of your team are doing behind the scenes to try to really capture this moment and even bring more hype than there already is to Ottawa and to Sens fans?
Well, here's a great example. Is last night, we're losing, and I'm thinking, okay, well now, if we don't clinch, what do we do? Like, you can't really lean into the playoff stuff until you're there, right? Like it's just bad form, bad karma, whatever you want to call it. You can't do it. But the minute we clinched, and it was pretty official, I went right to Steve Staios last night and I said, I would love to put you out in front of the media on Wednesday morning. If we can get you for a few minutes, it's really important. And so that was something that we did today. Cyril Leader spoke to the media today. Cyril did, I think, 2 or 3 interviews, CBC morning radio, CFRA morning radio. Like there's a ton. And now we got Hockey Night in Canada is now ready to do all their interviews ahead of the opening of the playoffs, and that's happening today and tomorrow. So there's a ton of media stuff going on, and the number of requests, it's wild. Like the number of requests we have for interviews with people, we're trying to prioritize them, but it's nonstop, but that's a good thing. Like this is what we all wanted. We all wanted them to make the playoffs in April, and with it comes, I think, a ton of excitement and a ton of media opportunities.
Well, just remember who was there on a rainy night in November when the Senators are losing to Buffalo in 2022, eh?
Oh my God! Losing to Buffalo, that doesn't narrow it down. It
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, hey, we're so happy, and we're not going to put you on the spot and tell you to pick your opponent, but I will ask you, as someone who admittedly is now a diehard Sens fan, Mr. Unbiased Journalist is wearing the logo now. Is there a player or a line or anything in particular that you're going to be watching for in round 1, saying this could make or break the first round series?
Wow. To be honest, I think Steve Staios said it best today. It's not like this is a one-line team or a one player team. Like the guy that to me has been so impressive that I think has been undersold nationally, that I'm excited to see him get some pop, is Jake Sanderson. Like to me, I think this year, Zach Werenski, Quinn Hughes, and Cale Makar are likely going to be your 3 finalists for the Norris Trophy. But the thing that I liked is down the stretch, I talked to some media members in other cities, in American cities, who seem to have Jake on their radar, maybe to get him in the top 5. And that's huge for somebody like Jake, who doesn't play a style that is maybe eye-popping or eye-catching, but boy, you watch him, you're like, that guy is unbelievable. And what I'm excited is that I'd like the rest of North America to maybe wake up and see what we see on a regular basis. Because I think the rest of the league knows how good Linus Ullmark is, or Brady Tkachuk is, or Tim Stützle is. I think those guys have natural star power, either with their personality or the way they play the game. There's some natural stuff there. Jake is understated in every way. And I think this, to me, is what I'm excited is to see the rest of the hockey world. If you haven't been exposed to number 85, you're going to see how dynamic and special of a player he is.
Yeah.
He's making us look good, Ian. Pilsy nailed his. We did hot takes the day before the season started, and Pilsy said Allmark's going to sign an extension by Christmas. He signed the next day. Mine was that Jake Sanderson would have the most points by a defenseman since Erik Karlsson left. He needs 1 point to tie Thomas Chabot from the 2018-19 season. You know what? I say he does it over the last final 4 games, but it's just been so much fun to watch. And as you mentioned, not a one-line team. There's 32 teams in the league. Tim Stützle's 32nd in points for the NHL. So it's like they don't have that top 5 scorer per se, but it's the way they're able to balance. And we did our X factors last night. Pilsy, didn't you have Jake Sanderson as yours? You guys are on the same wavelength. I went with Michael Amadio, the experience. And look, they brought you in. You got a couple of gray hairs up there, a little experience. And the big reason why we wanted to bring you on too, Ian, was you've never missed the playoffs as a member of the Ottawa Senators. And I'm not talking about just this year.
Yeah, so early 2000s, people may not know this. So, I think a lot of viewers or listeners, if you've known my work, you've known it from my days on Sportsnet and television, TSN 1200, The Athletic. What you might not know is for 2 seasons or most of 2 seasons before that, I was in the PR department with the Ottawa Senators. So 2000, 2001, and a good chunk of 0102. I actually jumped in the middle of the 0102 season to Sportsnet. But this is now the 3rd season in which I've been with the Senators. Haven't missed the playoffs yet. I'd like to, I mean, it's coincidence. We can all agree it's coincidence, but I like to think that it's a little bit of good luck.
Hey, we like trends here, Ian. We really do. And we love having you on the show, man. You are the 2nd most recurring guest in Locked On Senators history. And let's just say it means a lot to us that we can just shoot you an email while we're in the middle of recording. And you know that the fans are coming on the show. And for you to drop whatever you're doing, I know you're busy, and to come on, it means a whole hell of a lot to us, man. We cannot wait to see the Ottawa Senators in the playoffs. The white towels will be waving. And I know that you leaving the office today will see Senators car flags flying around the Queensway. Like, how much does it mean to you as a member of the community in Ottawa, not just the team, to see the excitement growing around town?
That's just it for me. And I think even when I was a reporter, I tried so hard to sort of be the voice of the fans of the community, because that's what it's all about. And I'm so excited for the fans. I'm so excited we got to remember, there's probably a huge portion of people who were too young to even kind of remember 2017, certainly too young to remember 2007 and those great days, right? So if you think about that, you think about, maybe a 15-year-old kid who, 8 years ago, 7 years old, and didn't really know much about hockey, doesn't have any great memories. Well, now here you go, right? And so that's the part of it that's the most exciting for me. And I do think about all of the work that people like you put in, and I go back to the COVID year and the COVID shutdown and the world shutting down, and the amount of work and blood, sweat, and tears that you guys put into your podcast during that time, basically creating content out of nothing. It's like days like yesterday and today, it's for you. It's because it's not just, I know we like financial investment in a team is huge. And so our season ticket holders obviously are our favorite people in the world. They're the lifeline of the team. But it's the people for me that put in the emotional equity, the emotional investment, that this is where I get so, not choked up, but I get so happy. My heart is so full for people like you, for people who have been through it all. That's the best part of it for me, is the emotional investment that you've put in. And you've just been waiting. You've been waiting to see playoff Brady Tkachuk for 5 years now. And we're going to see him. And it's so exciting.
Well, thanks, Ian. We appreciate those kind words. And yeah, even we've had a handful of Sens fans that have come on for this episode saying, I was in high school last time they made the playoffs. I'm done university. I'm married. I've got a kid now.
Jack Richardson said he didn't even have his driver's license the last time they made the playoffs.
Yeah, families have been formed and changed, and careers have been started since last time Sens were in the playoffs. I've got an 8-year-old nephew, Sens fan. He's never seen the Sens in the playoffs, so this is such a huge moment. They don't have any experience with the playoffs. But final one for me here, Ian.
It's all Lily knows, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Your daughter's
seventh in the NHL since she was born, by the way.
Yeah.
Points.
Love it. I just want to ask you, we talked about it before. Steve Staios made a bunch of moves this year, bringing in veteran guys with playoff experience. The only players on the team with playoff experience were Travis Hamonic and Claude Giroux. Just how important do you think it was for Steve Staios and the rest of the management team to target guys that have been there, that have Stanley Cup rings, that have Stanley Cup playoff experience, to help kind of guide the younger group, the core leadership in the Shabbats, the Bradys, that haven't had a chance to experience those things yet?
Yeah, I think, Brandon, I think it's huge. Like, I think it's really big. And I think when you look at the last 7 weeks of the season, you can make an argument David Perron's been as important as any forward on the team. Michael Amadio has scored some clutch goals. Like, it's no coincidence that when the stakes got raised in the last 6 or 8 weeks, those two guys elevated. And, you know, David, and I saw it, was so happy when we found out he was the Masterton Trophy nominee, because I think nobody sort of exhibits those characteristics of perseverance and dedication like he has this season. But you go back to December, and I'm sure you guys had conversations on your show. I know it was a talking point. People like, wow, boy, David Perron, it's been a really tough go. This isn't working out. And fast forward now to the middle of April, and you just know that that's exactly the guy that's needed in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Michael Amadio too. I think maybe it took him some time to find his niche or his role. And now you're seeing that this guy's a Swiss Army knife. He can plug and play, and he's just so calm, and he's such a veteran presence. He seems to have a knack for scoring big goals. Like, it's about finding the right veterans, right? And I think you go back a few years ago, and different veterans were brought in. It just didn't quite click. It didn't quite work. They found, I think, the right insulation for this group, and you got guys that have won Stanley Cups. I think that's a big deal.
And everybody is so excited, man. Thanks so much for doing this, Ian. We really appreciate it. Keep high stepping around the office, because the playoffs are coming back to Ottawa. Thanks so much for doing this, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. And can I say go Sens go?
Ending this show with a go Sens go from Ian Mendes. Does it get any better than that?
That was so awesome. I didn't know that was happening, and then I just see Ian Mendes pop up in the waiting room. I was like, oh, what a perfect way to finish that off. What a best-in-class guy Ian Mendes is.
What about best-in-class producing?
Great producing as well. Yes, of course. Yeah, it was a great idea, Ross. And we weren't sure whether it was going to be the best idea to do this episode or whether it wasn't going to play out right. The Sens fans that chimed in and Ian Mendes made this a perfect episode.
Oh, so good. And like Ian said, shout out to David Perron, the Senators nominee for the Bill Masterton Award. We'll have more on tomorrow's episode of Locked On Senators. Shout out to the everydayers. We cannot thank you enough. This has been the most rewarding season yet of the 5+ years we've been doing a daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. And it would be nothing without the heart, passion, and determination of Ottawa Senators fans. So shout out to you for listening to this and watching and listening and engaging with the show. The Senators are going to the playoffs, and tomorrow we will finally do what I've been teasing all week, comparing and contrasting this Ottawa Senators team against the last one to make the playoffs back in 2017. For today, we say goodbye. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been a very special edition of the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.